there's a little bit of controversy going on with the whole DDG and Holly Berry situation.
Halle
And
Bailey.
wait, did I tweet?
You said Holly
Holly,
Berry.
did I say Holly Berry? Oh, I thought I said Bailey. Okay, okay, I'm
No,
tweaking.
Halle Bailey.
My bad. Holly Bailey and DDG, as you guys already know, or most of you guys do know, they actually broke up. Real sad. You know, we hate to see it. Black, beautiful power couple, the new Jay
Yeah.
Z and Beyonce. You know, whatever. But
Hey.
they got a kid and everything. But you know, who knows? It can always come back. But so at the moment, they're broken up. Not really our business why. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people get into things that they don't really need to. But what we're here is just to talk about kind of the discourse that's going on around that. Recently, Joe Budden, he had something to say about DDG and him breaking up with Holly. And let's just go play it real quick, okay?
So I don't get to keep seeing this nigga's name attached to this girl's name when I don't know him for nothing as a standalone. And for me, it's important to know people based off their own name and merit and what they have done. Every time I see his name, it's attached to hers, and it's typically in some type of clout chaser fashion. So that makes me look at him a different way, and hopefully I get to look at him a lot less.
Joe Budden just said that about the whole Holly and DDG situation and how he just felt. He literally said that he was happy that they broken up, which I think is a little bit crazy. He did give his reasons on why he felt like he was happy that they broken up, and personally I think it's a little fucked up, I'm not gonna lie. But you know, like
Yeah.
I've always known about DDG. I could say I was talking to Chobani earlier. I knew about Holly before I knew about DDG. I think most of you guys knew about Holly because she's always kind of been in the face of everyone for a while. But I guess I knew a little bit more about DDG. He's always in my face a lot more. I guess I'm on the other side of like the internet where you know it's content where she's more on the music, she's more on the acting, she's more on just like that little side of there. So I'm a little bit on the opposite side of the spectrum of what Shabani is on. And here we're just gonna talk about it and kind of give our own opinion. So what do you think about what kind of happened with Joe Budden on that?
So I feel 50-50 now that I give it a second listen.
Mm-hmm.
I think at first I definitely agree. I feel like everybody needs their own niche. Everybody has their own name and they should be known for their own name.
Yeah.
DDG should be known and respected as DDG, not not Chloe, but Halle Bailey's
Yeah.
man, or, I feel like he should be able to live in his own spotlight, not only hers. And I feel like it discredits a lot of his hard work when people only attach him to Halle. And it makes him look like he's clout chasing when really I don't think that's what he's doing. That's the 50 part that I don't agree with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's clout chasing. I feel like DDG has his own spunk, and sometimes it's just not received that well with media.
Yeah.
And so people receive him negatively when I don't think he's trying to come across that way, and I think he's just being his authentic funny self, and
Yeah.
people just don't always stick to it. I think he is his own person and he has his own merit if people actually take the time to look at it.
I agree.
But I do agree that maybe this breakup will at least help DDG, or at least help people look at DDG as his own person and not DDG and Halle. He could be DDG by himself because DDG has a name, has a following, has a platform, even since before they were together.
Yeah.
It's just Halle is just so big, it overshadows. So
yeah,
that's
and
fine.
I guess and as I said before, I'm a little bit on the other spectrum because like I know more about DDG than I do know about Holly. So like for me, I don't really see the overshadowing, right? I know earlier you talked to me and I understand it a little bit more, right? But I didn't even still I don't see Holly as much as I see DDG, so I never seen that portion of it, right? I'm on the whole different side, and then yeah, and I can kind of see how maybe you could say he's not you, but Joe. I can see how he kind of says he's clout chasing, but at the same time, I think Joe Budden doesn't really even know who DDG is, so he's kind of just going off of what he's seen, right? Because like as we can see, DDG, he's been around for a minute, and as he's been around, he's been a YouTube kind of person, right? And the whole environment and like culture of YouTube is very like out there and spontaneous and this and that. You're really trying to get the person's like attention, right? And people have very low attention span. You just got to figure out how to get in front of people, right? And with that being said, I feel like with DDG is he understands how to get that attention. So then at some point he kind of lives in that. So like it seems like
Yeah.
it's clout chasing, right? but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's clout chasing. It's literally what he kind of raised himself up to be as a YouTube star. So like maybe he does certain things. He does certain things because he knows that it works, but he's been doing this forever where he kind of built his own clout himself, right? So maybe
Yeah.
he's doing the same thing that built his own clout into like different parts of his life where it seems like maybe he's clout chasing, but no, he's just doing what he taught himself. And I guess that's how I kind of look at it.
I definitely agree. You brought up a really good point when you talk about people's attention spans being so short and how you have to kind of have a grabber to get people sucked in. I remember I talked to you earlier about the way that Halle and DDG are two different categories of
Yeah.
celebrities. DDG is a YouTuber, and YouTubers have their own culture about them. You have to have the clickbait titles. You have to have the catchy intros, catchy this, catchy this. You have to have these thumbnails and hallmarks in your videos to keep listeners and watchers engaged. If you don't have that, you lose your audience. Whereas for Halle, she's a singer, she's an actress, you know, she's naturally in the spotlight, so she's can afford to be completely authentic and completely bare
Yeah.
because people are here obsessing over her from seeing her in movies, seeing her on stage. That's what we see her. That's where she works. That's where she puts on her face, and then we get to see her be authentic on the cameras of DDG, or you know, her and her sister have their own little thing that they do on Instagram and whatnot. So we get to see her be authentic because we see superstar Halle on stage in movies, whereas DDG, we're constantly seeing superstar DDG on camera, on a handheld camera, vlogging. So he's still constantly in that vlogger mode. So it might seem very, very, very disingenuous next to Halle because she's being super authentic, because she doesn't have to do the clickbait. She doesn't have to do that. That hook line. She doesn't have to have a hook like a YouTuber would.
Right.
They're two different realms. So when you put the two together side by side, it makes DDG look like he's doing too much and makes Halle look like she's doing just enough. You know, so I think it's that big difference is what makes things appear the way that they do. And then we're looking at two different audiences coming together. Like you said, you're on one side, I'm on one side too. I've followed Chloe and Halle Bailey since they were on Medea. Okay, so I've seen these girls grow up. I've grown up with them, you know. So I've known them for some time, and I've been following them, love them, respect them with all my heart. Whereas DDG, I'm newer to DDG, you know. So when I look at him, I'm like, oh, this is just a YouTuber, you know. He has music, you know, he has accomplishments. Like DDG was never a nobody, right? He has his own accomplishments in a whole nother realm. So we're looking at two completely polar opposite fan bases come together as well. And I feel like we're looking at a lot of discourse there because it's not meshing well, because we see actors date actors. We see singers date singers. I have it. Halle and DDG are my first YouTuber singer actress combo.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. So I feel like the world is kind of judging them harshly because of that.